Hey, sports fans, welcome back to the Fool Show. Of course, I am Foolish Phil. I just want to do a recap of Michigan's 79-66 victory over Maryland. And again, this is a tale of, if you will, two separate storylines. To start off, Maryland came out shooting extremely well. I think there's an advantage they had as they played a game already here in Lucas Oil Stadium. That's the NFL Indianapolis Colts Stadium, and it is huge, obviously. And I think it helped Maryland because they were used to it. I mean, teams couldn't have practiced there yesterday because they had 4 games in the Big Ten tournament. So I just think it gave Maryland an advantage. They were used to the shooting surroundings, and they came out hitting their shots where Michigan came out flat. And again, flat like they did versus Michigan State. So it's a little concerning in that way. But when Michigan was down, I think it was 36-24, with about 4 minutes to go, Michigan seemed to really turn the tide on Maryland. The bench Roy came in and played quite well. Shondy Brown had 10 points. Brandon Johns played extremely well, 7 points on perfect shooting. And so did Davis on 2 of 2 shooting, I think, or maybe 3 of 3. He had 6 points. He had 2 free throws. So our bench had 23 points. Excellent. I mean, just a huge, huge boost for Michigan. Because Dickinson had foul trouble. Johns and Davis had to kind of follow him in when he was out with foul trouble. And you just had that balance that you had to find. You just had to find your groove. You had to find the right niche. Definitely, you got to give props. Franz Wagner, 16 points. Eli Brooks, people were wondering if he was going to come back. He started off slow. I think he airballed 3 of his first 4 shots. But his ankle kind of warmed up. He got some big shots in the second half. Just 16 points for him. But the star of the game definitely had to have been Mike Smith. He got 18 points, I think it was, and a Big Ten tournament record 15 assists. Definitely, I love Shondy Brown. I love how he plays defense. But right now, it's like Mike Smith is definitely playing as the best transfer Michigan has had this year. But I love Shondy Brown, don't get me wrong. So Michigan went on a huge run to end the first half. They actually ended the first half being up 40-38, and they just kind of kept the pedal to the metal in the second half and pulled away. Now, the second big story of this game is Coach Howard getting ejected after having an altercation with the bench of Maryland, and you have 2 sides. Always, every story has 2 sides. The first story from Mark Turgeon of Maryland is that he was very vague about what he was upset about. He said, it sounds just like, I don't know, you'll have to hear it from him yourself, but it was like, well, we've had this issue 2 other games, the first 2 games, and the Big Ten knows about it. I've alerted them to it. Like, what issue? This is the press conference, Mark Turgeon. Why are you not saying what the issue was? All you're doing is alluding to it, saying that the Big Ten knows about it, and you don't say anything about it. I don't know. Then you have Coach Howard, who came into his interview, and he spent the first 2.5 or so minutes talking about what happened from his perspective. According to Howard, he went over to kind of complain about a call that went against his team. There were several calls where it seemed that the ball went off of one team and it went to the other team. Classic terrible Big Ten refereeing, as we always have in the Big Ten. Terrible refereeing. I don't know how these people keep getting paychecks. But regardless, he was walking towards the Maryland sideline to get closer to the refs, because the ball went out on that side. And Howard said that Turgeon told him to get back because he wasn't in his coach's box. And Howard's like, we're going to do that now? We're going to have that talk right now? Because you see that all the time where coaches are out on the floor. Even during plays, they're directing players and such. Lots of coaches. Almost every coach does that. But so Howard is like, we're going to do that now? And Turgeon then apparently, and I watched the replay, so obviously I see it from Howard's perspective, right? I hear Howard how he says it. Then you see Turgeon start walking quickly at Howard. Howard, in his discussion, cited that, saying it looked like Turgeon was going to come and like attack him. So he went defensive mode, and as he says, he lost it. And so that's what it is. Take it for what you want. Howard got ejected. How did it affect the team? Both teams were fired up. What happened? Michigan went on a nice 8-0 run after that. Very nice. And I think that speaks to, can you really say that means that the Michigan players like Howard more than the Maryland players like Turgeon? No. But you say, oh, it fired up the team and they had their coaches back. I mean, does that mean Maryland players turtled? They're turtles. Or not. No, you can't really say that. But 8-0 run Michigan went on after that. Michigan gets a win. Double-digit win. When you're down double digits in the first half and you win. They were down by 12 and come back to win. Their biggest lead was 15. They win by 13. Hopefully they can continue this going forward. Brooks looked good again in the second half. Wagner played really well. The bench, like I said, great. One thing I really am a little concerned about is Isaiah Livers. 0 for 4 or 0 for 5 today, I think. 0 points. 0 points. He didn't look that aggressive. He didn't look for like driving the lane. He kind of just settled. I think he shot 3 or 4 3-pointers out of his 4 or 5 shots, whatever it was. Only one shot wasn't a 3-pointer. And that was a mid-range jumper, which he missed. So I wonder if something's a little off with him. He kind of tweaked something in the Illinois game. Hopefully he can get out of his rut. He only played 15 minutes today, so hopefully he can get out of his rut. As it looks, Michigan's going to be playing Ohio State tomorrow. They were up big versus Purdue. Obviously, the game's not finished yet as I record this. But the first time Michigan and Ohio State played, it was a thrilling game. Michigan won. This game was in the high 80s. Michigan had 90 or 92 points, 92-87. Just a great basketball game. We'll see how it goes tomorrow, whoever Michigan plays. Hey, just giving you my foolish thoughts. Just love Coach Howard. I love his fire. I love his passion. Never going to not love that. Love seeing your coach being aggressive and standing up for his players and whatever it might have been. I don't mind that at all. I like that passion. Let me know what you guys think. Put in the comments below, and I'll try to respond as I can. And thanks again to the subscribers. Appreciate those. And until I see you guys next time, go Blue.